Hello! So in the previous video, I cleared the menacing difficulty of the new Stygian Onslaught using only 4-star characters and weapons. And in this video, I decided to tackle the fearless difficulty. Unfortunately though, I don't think it's possible using only 4-star units, especially the secret source Automaton, so this time C0 5-star characters are also allowed. Once again though, we will not use 5-star weapons, and we will not use the battle pass weapons either. I tried to use the least amount of 5-star units I could, but at the end of the video I will also show you some runs from other people who managed to clear it with cheaper teams. Anyway, let's get going. For the Tulpa, I went with a Mawika team with Yansan, Power Traveler and Charlotte. And Power Traveler is actually pretty good against the Tulpa because he's the only character other than Mawika that can trigger the scroll set on the Tulpa because he is a power character that deals Night Soul Line damage. So you can get the full 40% power damage buff for your Mawika or any power carry you're playing. Also, when you're playing with Mawika, he generates a bit of fighting spirit, so that's also pretty good to have. Then Charlotte is also a very good unit for the Tulpa. She can hold the TTDS to give 48% attack to your carry. She can also very easily trigger the 4-piece instructor to give 120 EM to your carry on top of that. And she takes very good care of the mini Tulpas. You can just kill the one next to you with a normal attack or her burst, and snipe the other one at the other side of the room with your hold E. Then, at around the 1 minute 5 mark on the timer, the Tulpa is gonna pop his shield, which gives all of your bursts back. So if you're using a character like Xiangling for example, make sure to use her Power Nado before he pops the shield so you can spawn a second Power Nado afterwards. And there's a lot of characters that can benefit from this. Anyway, for the Mawika combo, I just went with the good old 2 charge attacks into dash loop. Since the Tulpa is infused with Hydro, that helps you get more vapes on your charge attacks. And theoretically there is a better combo where you do a charge attack and immediately cancel it into a dash and a normal attack, and you loop that over and over again, but I found it pretty hard to do consistently, so I just went with the default simple combo. But anyway, the normal combo was more than enough to defeat the Tulpa with even 18 seconds left on the clock. For the Lava Dragon, I actually managed to clear it with a 4-star only team. Once again, we're bringing an Overload team just like the previous video because Overload is great for this boss. The Overload reaction counts as a pyro hit, which helps with the shield, and Fischl is going to be able to deal a decent amount of damage before the boss goes down. Unlike the previous video, this time I decided to go with the catch on Xiangling to give her a bit more damage, since we'll have Bennett, Chevreuse and Fischl generating a good amount of energy and a lot of pyro particles. I didn't feel like the energy was going to be an issue on Xiangling, so I wanted to go for more damage. Anyway, the rotation here is pretty straightforward. We deal with the shield, try to line up the buff for his down phase, and then just deal as much damage as we can and loop that a second time until the boss dies. As for other characters you can use for the Lava Dragon, obviously Burning is pretty good against it, so if you have Emily, if you have Kinich, that's very good. But talking about Burning teams, Moalani is also pretty good against this boss in a Burning team. I've seen a lot of people clear it with Moalani, even on the dire difficulty. So yeah, Moalani is pretty good against this boss. You just bring the shield down with something like Nahida and a Pyro unit, and then whenever he's down you deal some big damage with Moalani. And other than that, well, you can play some mono pyro teams. Originally my first clear was with Arlecchino, Bennett, Xiangling and Kazuha. So yeah, there's a lot of options you can use. I've seen a lot of people use Amber as well, as surprising as it sounds, because she does a lot of pyro hits with her burst, and she has a very low burst cost with a short cooldown, so she can deal with the shield pretty fast. I've seen people use Klee as well with the sacrificial fragments, do like a triple E for some big pyro application at the beginning. So yeah, there's a lot of options against the Lava Dragon. And finally, we have the secret source Automaton. And I know what you're thinking, you're probably disappointed to see Skirk and Escoffier in this team, but my builds are not good enough, I wasn't able to get rid of either of them. But I will show you some clears from other people afterwards. Anyway, something that I found to help a lot here is doing a quick rotation first. Instead of waiting for Xingqiu's energy to use his burst and stuff, I just do a quick rotation right away, and this lines up the cooldowns in a better way so that I can do another full rotation at the end of the fight. Whereas whenever I was waiting for Xingqiu's burst and energy to do the first rotation, I would always not have enough time to finish my last rotation and run out of time, so that did help a little bit. Anyways, for the combos I didn't really do anything special. I just do 5 normal attacks into burst, 5 more normal attacks, 3 normal attacks into a charge attack, and then spam normal attack. You know, the standard combo. And anyway, for the team, you can see that I decided to use Lila instead of Charlotte. In a lot of clears with Skirk, you're gonna see people use Charlotte with GTDS, but personally, I've had better results with Lila. Firstly, because her cryo application is more consistent, and secondly, because giving a shield to Skirk allows me to use the Calamity of Eshu instead of the Finale of the Deep, which is a significantly better weapon for Skirks. So personally, I got better results with Lila than with Charlotte, although I do think that theoretically Charlotte is probably better, especially if you have a better weapon for Skirk, or if you don't have Calamity of Eshu. And also my Lila is C6, so I'm getting the normal attack buff from her C4, and a reasonable amount of off-field damage from her. Since I'm using Lila and Xingqiu, I was also able to give the 4-piece Tenacity to Lila and the 4-piece Noblesse to Xingqiu for maximum buffing for Skirk. But I've also seen some clears preferring to use Emblem of Severed Fate on Xingqiu for more off-field damage. Alright, before leaving, I would like to mention a few more team options and show some runs from other people. Firstly, Hyperbloom teams are also really good against the Tulpa. I did some testing and I was pretty easily able to clear it using a Hyperbloom team with Nahida and Fischl, and I've also seen people clear it with characters like Alhaitham and Tainari. Also, there are 2 runs in particular I wanted to mention. Firstly, there's this Chinese player on Bilibili who managed to clear the whole thing using only a single 5-star unit at C0R0. He cleared the Tulpa with a variant of the national team, cleared the Lava Dragon with an Overload team featuring the Pyro Traveler, which is actually a pretty good unit to deal with the Lava Dragon's shield, and finally he cleared the last room with a budget Skirk team without Escoffier. I still genuinely don't understand how it's possible. I guess my builds are really not that good, but anyway, very impressive run. And lastly, I also wanted to mention this person who cleared the last boss using neither Skirk nor Escoffier, everyone at C0 and without 5-star weapons, by doing an ultra cursed hyper fridge team with Oyaka, which is pretty much the only unit that can single-handedly deal with the Automaton's shield in a reasonable amount of time. Anyway, I will leave the links to those 2 runs in the video description. You can see my builds in the background here, and yeah, that's it for the video. I wish you all a good luck for your Stygian Onslaught clears, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!